management software to fit the farming calendar, and we're extending all this from beef farmers to lamb farmers this year. Last year, we launched something called Farm Promise. It was initially to cover the cost of dairy farms converting from conventional to organic standards. We work with the farmers to ensure that they can meet growing demands for organic milk by covering the additional cost of conversion and promising them a contract when they do convert. And we can sell every single litre of organic milk which is produced and given to us. We have Concept Orchard, like Farm Promise. It's designed to promote British fruit growing for apple farmers and boost UK agriculture. We sell more English apple varieties than any other supermarket chain, but it's still not enough. The Sainsbury Dairy Development Group is a unique forum within the supermarket industry. We get dairy farmers together to talk about how they can optimize nutrition, feed efficiency, and herd health, and help them towards a sustainable future supply of British quality milk. Now, Sainsbury's was founded by a family over 130 years ago, and that family laid down core values which we try to follow today. It's committed to helping charities. One of the ways in which we help charities is we have a food donation scheme. You know, when you go into a supermarket, on every item there's a display date, and it says display this food until this date. And then there's a sell-by date. Well, at the display date, we take that food off all the shelves, we assemble it together, and this is thousands of tons of food, and we give it to charities. We give it to the Salvation Army, we give it to the homeless, we give it to people who don't have enough food to eat. And believe me, there are 4 million people in Britain today who live well below the poverty line, and many of them are children. So we give this food away free. It's perfectly nutritious. At the last dinner we gave for 20 people, which was last week, Justin said at the beginning of the dinner, and the food you're eating tonight was going to go to food waste and landfill, but we saved it to make dinner for you. And they looked slightly taken aback, and we had the most wonderful dinner on delicious food. It's just that it had gone past its display date. We also focus on families and children and healthy eating. We have funded gap year training for nutrition scientists. We train our own apprentice bakers within the shop. We have a large number of apprentice bakers who are learning how to be bakers, and they bake the bread within our shops, and it's put on the shelves for sale immediately. We also, over the last 3 years, have given away £52 million to schools for active kids' sports equipment. We continually look at ways that we can support rural and farming communities across the United Kingdom. One of the schemes that I like very much is the Save the Bumblebee. Now, the bumblebee, that sweet little is in serious decline. It's in serious decline for all sorts of reasons, because farmers use a great deal of pesticide, but mostly because farmers are using their land right up to the hilt. They cut down all the hedges, and they're making much bigger fields, and you don't get the land margins anymore. So help reverse the balance. We're helping farmers by sowing and managing field margins again with a selection of plants that deliver pollen and nectar where bumblebees can thrive. And our funding towards this is aimed at boosting bee numbers by as much as 600%. And of course, without the bumblebee, you don't get fertilization. Without fertilization, you don't get much of the food that we eat. We've also planted 1 million trees in conjunction with the Woodland Trust over the last 2 years as habitats for chickens. And we aim that by 2009, none of our chickens will be living in battery farms. They will be living under trees, out of doors, happy chickens, flapping their wings, putting an end to battery-farmed eggs. And for that, we have won a prize from the World Compassion in Farming. We're the largest fish retailer in the United Kingdom. We've conducted a major review of our fish sourcing to remove high-risk and exploited fish from our stores. And we warn our customers by labelling about endangered species, and we encourage them to try something new. We're always seeking to reduce pesticides and additives in our own food, and around 200 of our basic products now have no artificial flavourings or additives whatsoever. We launched a range of So Organic foods. Sales increased over the first year since 2005 by 20% a year. We're a partner to something called Forum for the Future. This is a body which helps companies in Britain to become sustainable. We launched in 2006 our first ever 100% United Kingdom organic supermarket box scheme. Now, the origins of the food are labelled on the box, including the farm name and the region from where the food comes and where the produce was grown, along with healthy recipe tips. The box itself is 100% recycled cardboard and is again recyclable, and the contents are as unpackaged as possible. Our organic food is sold in shops in compostable containers. You can chuck it on the compost heap. Within 3 months, it will have biodegraded. And we gave a boost to the world forests last year by being the first supermarket to source all our own brand tissue from sustainable sources. We've reduced our carbon footprint over the last 4 years by 20%, and of our online deliveries are going to be made using electric vans, saving 45 tonnes of CO2 emissions in the next year. Now, those are just some of the things that we're doing, and I'm sorry it's been such a horrible list, but I want to talk to you about Fairtrade, because this is where you come in. Our commitment to Fairtrade increases year by year. We now buy all our bananas Fairtrade from the Windward Islands. Every single banana that you buy in Sainsbury's, just let me tell you how many we sell. 1,000 bananas are sold every minute in our stores. 500 million bananas a year. And they all come from the Windward Islands. They come from St. Lucia, St. Vincent, the Dominican Republic, and later this year we should be buying from Colombia and Costa Rica. Now, the conversion to Fairtrade bananas means that we are creating a social premium. This is money that we give over and above the money that we buy the bananas with. And the Windward Islands have received this year £4 million, $8 million in social premium. And they're spending that on new water supplies and on computers for their schools. And each of these is labelled with a Fairtrade label. So the school children can tell their friends, look, my father, who used to be the poorest man in the community, not selling his bananas to anyone, has now financed this clean water supply to our school, and there's the Fairtrade emblem to show that we've done it. We've launched a range of clothing made from Fairtrade certified cotton, benefiting cotton farmers in Mali, Cameroon and Senegal. We bought 200,000 T-shirts in Fairtrade cotton from West Africa for a sports charity day. In the October this year, we became the UK's largest Fairtrade tea and coffee retailer, converting 100% of our own brand red tea, which we've sold for over 100 years, to Fairtrade. We sell Fairtrade chocolate. We sell Fairtrade coffee from Kenya and Malawi. And in South America, we're also buying Fairtrade coffee. Palm oil, we've just made an announcement that all the palm oil used in our own products will, in the future, come from sustainable sources. Unilever told us we couldn't do this. We've done it within 5 years. They said it was impossible to find sustainable sources of palm oil. We have done it. I'd love to find more time to talk to you about some of the energy issues and how we've invested £15 million in energy efficiency projects. Each month now, we are holding a Make the Difference Day in Britain, where we raise a specific issue and we take action. We show our customers how they can take action too. And on the first day of Make the Difference in April, we stopped using disposable carrier bags and instead gave away more than 6 million bags for life. They're made from 100% recycled material, and typically each one is used 20 times. When it's worn out, we replace it free. And these are just some of the things that Sainsbury's are doing. And it's perhaps just gives you a notion of how seriously we take our corporate responsibilities. It may seem to you rather a rosy picture, but believe me, there are a great many critics out there who believe that supermarkets are the worst things ever, that we are solely responsible for the decline of small shops in the high street, that we indulge in many antisocial activities, which is why Sainsbury's is very keen only ever to tell of the things that we do and not the things that we are going to do, which we find other supermarkets do.